right here with these two treasures that said yes to me, Luis and Erin, who both said yes to sharing and being with you today. They've had an amazing week here, and the really great part is this is their second time here, correct?
Yes.
So I just thought it'd be perfect that they could come and share with you all that bubbled up for them and what they know now. So thank you both for being right here. I'm so glad you said yes when I asked you.
Thanks for
So
having
how are
us.
you doing today?
Fantastic.
Awesome. Yeah.
Okay, you're glowing.
I feel like I'm glowing.
Yeah.
You look like you're glowing. So tell us how you got here from last time. Like even your last visit at Rythmia was 6 months ago.
Yes.
And I love that they said they're going to make this a regular 6-month thing that you're right back here. So thank you for that. What do you feel like from then till even now, where you've grown and why you know that you will be coming back every 6 months? Because that's beautiful to already know that.
Well, I remember the first experience was just, wow, like really just expanding in my consciousness and just awareness, just whole nother levels of spiritual development. And as we were going through the integration during this last time, some things came back up, but then some things were just completely just taken care of. Like things I used to struggle with, they were just like gone. But then it was almost like an onion where like at the first layer, I'm like, oh, I'm having this issue with like anger and emotions and connecting to certain like dark emotions or what I thought were dark emotions. And I kind of went through that layer, and then this whole new layer appeared. And I was like, okay, what is this whole new thing? Like I can actually go deeper into this.
You found that this time.
Yeah, this between the last time and this time. And when I originally came here, it was, I'm going to come here to do some chakra work and balance out like some things from my bloodline and past lives and such. But it actually turned into something else, like a whole nother level of heart opening and just things I didn't expect it, but I'm just forever grateful for it.
So you even got more than you anticipated the first time,
Absolutely.
which brought you back to this time to even go deeper. And I love how you explain, of course, when we peel off another layer of the onion, there's always more to peel off in this life, whether it's today or tomorrow. But our willingness to allow it to peel, that takes courage. The both of you, I just honor you for saying yes to being so courageous. All right, Erin, for you, what brought you back this time, and what was your growth in that?
In a very similar way, I felt that I was being called to level up into a new level of expansion. Last time I definitely received a beautiful miracle and connected to myself in an amazing way, connected to my heart. And I just knew that if I came, I didn't really know why I was coming back clearly, and now I understand that.
So you were just listening to I'm going back, and I don't completely know why. Luis is like, we're going back. Is that what I'm catching?
Well, we both felt the call to come back.
Got it.
I knew I wanted to come back for a long time, but it wasn't extremely clear to me the one intention. It just kind of felt like, okay, I want to go back. I want to feel that magic again, that healing, like let the medicine do its work. And now I'm seeing how it's going to affect different areas of my life.
Okay, that's trust. That's trust for you to know I'm still coming back, and then it was revealed itself in the divine timing that it was supposed to.
Exactly.
Beautiful.
Trusting the call.
Oh, I love that. And you're going to keep trusting the call again and again.
Absolutely.
So what was your favorite part this week? I know it's a lot, but what would you say that would be?
So there was one moment, my last trip with me was really, overall, pretty smooth. It was like, when I went through ceremony, I was like on cloud 9. I was just like, oh man, this is great, and this is great, and this is great. And I just had a great time. And then this time, and I heard about the ups and downs, especially when you're working down. This time I actually got to experience it down, which part of me, I was like, I kind of want to feel what that's like a little bit. And sure enough, it was like, ask and it shall be received.
Yes.
And I was like, all right, we're going into some deep stuff. And Mother Ayahuasca was telling me like, oh, we're clearing out this stuff, and all the time I want to like, I just want to purge and get it over with. And she's like, not yet. And I'm like, all right. So I sat with it for like Tuesday night ceremony into Wednesday night. And then I purged out some things in the middle of the night, Tuesday. that I was like, oh my God, something that haunted me for like my entire life. It was just like, I
was
didn't
released this week.
Yeah, this week, like this week. And I was like, man, I didn't even think, because we're driving here. And I'm like, I wonder what my intentions are going to be. Like, I had no idea. And then she's like, I'm going to do this for you.
Yes.
And I purged this thing out, and it's just like, oh man. And even still, it's like, we're not done yet. And I'm like, okay. So then all of Wednesday, I'm like holding on to it. And I purged again for Wednesday night, all through the night. And then I realized like that energy that I was holding on to, that could have turned into like a very bad situation physically, like a disease, like cancer. Because I purged it out. I'm like, holy smokes, that really would have like really kind of healed me, like on so many levels. So that was one of my favorite parts of it, even though it was tough.
I'm so grateful that you stuck it out. Though. I love that you said, I knew something was brewing, but you stuck it out and wrote it out until, and when we get to release something so big that was hidden behind the core intention of, I'm going here to keep growing. I'm going here to keep growing. And then you get here, but that was necessary for your growth, was to release something that you've been holding for years.
Yeah, that was
beautiful.
Just, like so much appreciation and grateful. There was other parts as well, but that was one of them.
Yes. And how's life different now? How is life going to be different because that's released?
Yeah, I feel like now is I can use my energy, and I can focus more on like more productive habits. Like I don't fall into trauma or like pain or negative patterns that I used to. But now it's like, it's almost like my shine came back. We're like, you're going to use your energy for music and song and dance and things that you used to love as a child. But when the split happened, then you just go into like addiction and alcohol abuse and so on and so forth. But it's like, no, I don't need that stuff anymore. Like, I don't need it anymore. Like that, it's cleared out.
Did you hear you said my shine came back?
Yeah, it's like my heart came back.
His shine came back. It's so good. Thank you. I love that. All right. For you, my dear. Favorite part, if there was a favorite part, but what stands out? What was your miracle?
There's so much to that question, but I would say one of the biggest miracles that happened for me, this week for me, there were so many, but was this beautiful reconnection to myself and my heart. There was always this little part of me that didn't know I could truly ever feel happy or like truly feel so loved and receive that. And in one of my ceremonies, I realized that I, in a way, abandoned myself, always looking for connection outside of myself, happiness, something to fill the void of emptiness or disconnection from myself, from divinity. And I feel like I really connected to myself this week, and I really connected to my little inner girl, and it just brought so much bliss and happiness. I was like giggling, and
I love
just
that.
feeling so pure.
But to go from abandonment to I reconnected with myself, to go from releasing something that now I can shine, like life's different now.
Yeah.
So how do you think life will expand in your relationship?
So I know we've been, there's a lot of times in our relationship where we would especially if we were going through like traumatic patterns or traumatic response, we'd point the finger, like, you did this, or you made me feel this way, or this, that. Now, and something kept telling us though, every time we'd have a talk, it's like, it's not about you, it's about me. It's not about my partner, it's about me. Even though like, regardless of like how it may seem, I have to go look in myself because my partner is a reflection of me.
Yes.
She's, Erin's just showing me what I need to kind of work through. And with that we would talk about it, and sometimes we get caught in the loop, and then sometimes we'd like, okay, let's ground and let's keep working on ourselves. And now that we've done all this work on ourselves, I believe that that's just going to make a lot more harmony in the relationship, better communication, because now it's like we can see like, this isn't, whatever I'm going through right now is not on my partner, it's about me. And if I'm feeling a way about how my partner is reacting, I can speak to my partner without pointing fingers and like doing judgment or making them feel bad. Rather, okay, I just want to understand where you're coming from and where I feel I'm coming from.
I could speak to my partner without pointing fingers.
Yeah.
So to know every time we're growing individually, then of course we're going to show up even more present in our relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But you two growing together here individually, because you're still growing individually in every ceremony, in every transformational breath class, in every class, but you're still enhancing your relationship in such deep ways. What would that be for you?
Well, first, I would echo what he said about really this week I got really good at, if something triggered me in anybody else, and especially him, like, what can I learn about myself from that? And I definitely would like to take that forward. And also with the level, I made such a commitment to myself this week of a certain number of hours of self-care moving forward that will nurture my inner child. Yes. And I think that will really serve me because I will be reaching this place of fulfillment and connection on my own instead of looking for him to do something to make me feel better, which I would fall into that pattern in the past.
In the past.
Yeah.
I love that she said that. In the past, she fell into that pattern, but no longer will Erin be in that pattern. That's beautiful. I love this. Okay, so besides all this good, what else did you, what do you appreciate about Rythmia that just makes it the entire package that it is? What do you appreciate about it? Because there's a lot.
This is really, the whole program is like almost down to a science. Like Jared, really just amazing how this is all put together. Like everything's so supportive. Like the ceremonies, but also like the breath work and the with the beads and the labyrinth, and that I was looking at my book from last time. I'm like, holy, I did all this. Like I accomplished all this.
Oh, that's
like
beautiful.
That is so like such a powerful practice.
Yes. And
then the food, everything's like just so. The whole thing is just so supportive. Everything works together so perfectly.
Science, yes. It's an intention and a science that it all flows. And as I mentioned to you before, we can have it here, but you two are fully participating when people come to Rythmia. The beautiful thing is, one of the beautiful things is that there is a science. But when you participate in every piece of the science, then miracles are in overflow because it's created in a way for you to keep blossoming and growing. So I love that you love the labyrinth. I love labyrinths. And this one's completely unique because it has 2 entrances, which is magnificent. What would you say for yourself? I get to go back and forth. I
love it. The support. The people here are just so wonderful. Not only the medicine staff, but all the classes, the kitchen staff. Like everybody is so wonderful. Everybody's always checking on you. How are you doing? What's your process right now? How do you feel? And especially during ceremony, I needed a lot of help this week. I was moving through some really heavy emotions at times, or some hard times in the ceremony. And I can't express how grateful I was to have the beautiful people help me that did. They really supported me.
And you allowed that.
I allowed it too.
Did you ask for help?
A couple of times, which was new for me too. That was another thing, is like practicing asking for help or receiving.
Yes.
Like or receiving, because sometimes they would just come help me when I didn't even know I needed it.
And to be willing to receive it when they knew that even before you did.
Exactly.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And the spa? Did you love a spa?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to try to get one more massage.
Yeah,
you can squeeze that in today. Because all of that, there's people who've had their miracles on the massage table that have come. They're like, oh, I did all this work all week. And just then, like everything in my body opened up to receive the miracle. Then we just can't guess when insights and miracles, it could be in classroom, it could be in ceremony, it could be in breath work, it could be while you're walking the labyrinth. But it's your willingness to keep being here and, being present to, okay, my intention is this, and watching it unfold.
Yeah.
You two did an amazing job this week. And I get to see you again.
So excited.
Yeah.
Again and again.
Absolutely.
This is perfect. Okay, what would you say to anyone that is, I always ask this because it's an important question, because there are people that you may be thinking, is this really for me? What would you say to anyone who's could be on the fence thinking, what should I go to Rythmia? What would be that for me? What would you say to them?
I mean, I can't think of anybody who this wouldn't be for. because I mean,
Good answer.
like even my mom, like
Mm.
I love my mom dearly, and she's very supportive about like my work. I mean, I practice Reiki. I'm very spiritual, and I'll say the things like just so far out there, and she's just always looking like, oh, that's nice. You know, you did a meditation and went to some dimension, and I'm
I
like,
love that.
and she was, when I called her for Thanksgiving, she was like, oh, how's and it was such a blessed thing because it just shows like how much support she shows me. She's like, how's rythmia? Did you see any visions? How's everything? How's your process?
Oh, how
she hasn't
beautiful.
been here yet. Like, so I'm definitely bringing her. And
okay, so Luis's mom, you will be here, and I can't wait to meet you.
We're coming.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is for everybody. I would say for anybody who is kind of on the fence thinking about it. If you're just thinking about it, I would say definitely go, because that's like your heart saying one thing and then your ego saying the other. Because like your heart's like, okay, I want to reconnect to you. I want to express in like fully into reconnect to your soul. And your ego's like, well, I kind of like this. And I don't want to go away yet. So it's almost like if you're on the fence, that's like your ego pushing you on the fence, and your heart be like, no, let me go. I want to go.
Yes. So listen to your heart.
So listen to your heart, and just stick with the program, because it is like it's a science. Everything works together so perfectly. And if you do, you participate as fully as you possibly can, you will have that miracle. Absolutely.
Well said. Yeah. Well said. Erin, do you want to add to that?
Yeah, just if you feel it in your heart, I believe that you aren't called to do this work unless you're meant to. Or if you don't hear about it, and you when you feel that desire, because it's like your soul calling you.
Yes, that's it.
Absolutely.
When your soul calls you, and I think that our souls call us in many different ways. Sometimes Reverend Michael say we're pushed by the pain or pulled by a vision, or pushed by the pain until we're pulled by a vision. Lots of people arrive at Rythmia from painful situations and then get pulled by the vision of what's possible, of everything you're describing. And whatever that is for each and every one of us, it's imperative to listen to that soul calling. So if your soul is calling you in any way, or like these two precious ones have expressed that you're ready to just do more deeper work to grow, come join us, because it's purely wonderful here at the Rythmia Life Advancement Center. I thank you both.
Thank you
for
so
being here. I can't wait to spend another week with you in 6 months. And we'd love to see you soon. So come join us. Have a beautiful, wonderful Saturday, and we'll see you soon.